start with elimination approach, then we'll decide what is the first one. Can A be the first sentence? Underline the word these. Cannot be the first sentence. We'll see B. Can B be the first sentence? Why? Underline the word this. Demonstrative adjective or demonstrative pronoun. And first sentence, these Millennium Development Goals. In this sentence, these is demonstrative adjective. This would still be below. In this sentence, this is demonstrative pronoun. Can C be the first sentence? Potential, hold that one. D, since then, underline since then. Can it be the first sentence? No. Today it is estimated that malnourishment could decline to 40% by the end of 2015. Oh, I'm sorry. Please don't look at the numbers next to the sentence. Okay, I should have corrected. However, eradicating hunger along with, can it be the first sentence? Now, what is the first sentence here? C is the first sentence. Please make a note. India has been moderately successful. Underline the word moderately. Which part of speech is it? Adverb. Successful, but how? Moderately successful in reducing poverty. Underline the word poverty. Poverty is a situation where you cannot have enough food, you cannot meet your basic needs, and financially you are not sound. That touches. Now, what could be the second sentence? Now, please, not A. F is the second sentence. Please go to F. However, eradicating hunger along with malnourishment. So, poverty has two dimensions. Please underline the words hunger, also underline malnourishment. However, eradicating hunger along with malnourishment still remains a key challenge according to the Millennium Development Goals. What is the clue for the next sentence? Millennium Development Goals. So, what is the third sentence, or where do you see? A is the third sentence, quite obvious. When these Millennium Development Goals were first formulated in 1990, 53.5% of all Indian children were malnourished. This is the third sentence. Now, what is the fourth sentence? D is the fourth sentence. Since then, progress has been slow. D is the fourth sentence. And what is the fifth sentence? Since then talks about the past, then it comes to the present. Today, it is estimated that malnourishment could decline to 40% by the end of 2015. But it talks about what is the concluding sentence. What is the last sentence? B is the last sentence. This would still be below the target of reducing malnourishment to 28.6%. So, what is the correct order? C, F, A, D, E, B. This is the correct order. Which one? Sentence? Huh? F sentence. So, what is your doubt? I am not getting it. Why not? Because the first sentence, that's a very good doubt. What is the first sentence? India has been moderately successful in reducing poverty. He talks about the success of reducing poverty. Now, here you have to understand what poverty stands for. That's what I said. Poverty talks about what? It talks about, one is hunger, lack of food. Another, it talks about malnourishment. And where do you find these two? Now, if you go to F, however, eradicating hunger along with malnourishment still remains a key challenge. First sentence talks about success. When do you use the word however? Contrasting. You say, I have been successful. Still you want to add some contrasting information, contrasting idea. What will you say? Though I have been successful, or I have been successful in a few exams, however, I haven't been successful when it comes to SBI. One talks about positive, second talks about negative. Here first sentence talks about moderate success. Second sentence, it talks about contrasting view, which is focused more on the challenge. What is the challenge here? eradicating hunger along with malnourishment still remains a key challenge. Then the writer says, what is a challenge? Based on what? According to the Millennium Development Goals. Now let us take your stand. You don't want to consider F. Where do you want to place it? Now answer that question. We'll take from that angle. One, do you accept C is the first sentence? Yes. What is the second sentence? According to. A is the second sentence? No. A cannot be the second sentence. What is C? He says C is the first sentence. You feel A is the second sentence. That is ruled out. You may ask why? Categorically ruled out. Why? These Millennium Goals. What is the demonstrative adjective here? These, when do you use? When these Millennium, already some mentioned, they must have talked about Millennium Goals. Without talking about those, you cannot use the word these, ruled out. This is the right order, beyond any doubt. Okay, fine. Shall I move on to the next set of questions? Oh, it is a passage. This is a lengthy passage. Look at the passage, how many words? More than 1,000, I suppose. And I found it a little irritating, going through the entire passage. And this passage, there are two problems. One problem, please remember all of you, there are two problems here. One is what? Lengthy passage. First you are knocked off. Oh, these many words, such a lengthy passage, do I have to read? Do I get enough time? Second problem, unfamiliar context. You cannot relate to this context. What is the reason? It goes with which country? A Western country. Energy, household energy, how to use energy. It's a new concept for us. But do remember, any lengthy passage, any passage that seems apparently difficult, you will be able to get, you should be able to get a minimum 5 effortlessly. And if you read with a positive attitude, a fast reader, you should get 7 or 8. But all said and done, this passage, 2 questions are really difficult. Ignore. Out of 30, how many are you supposed to get? Only 21. You have the choice to leave 9 questions, but only 2 questions are difficult here. So nothing to worry. As simple as that. All of you remember, when you come across a lengthy passage or a difficult close test, never get disappointed. You may ask, why? I'm really serious. Please remember, from the selection point of view, final selection, I don't talk in terms of prelims, mains or interview. Final selection, prelims or mains, you should get in the range of 60% to 70%. Now you take prelims, how many marks are there? 30 marks. What is the 60%? 18. What is the 70%? 21. You go to the higher side, 21. Still, how many questions you can afford to leave? Out of 30 questions, 9 questions comfortably you can ignore. Now passage, usually 1 or 2 questions are difficult. Still in the paper you have 7 questions. So why should you get worried? Do you find, do you understand what I say? So that should not knock you off. Very simple. Look at the passage. Oh, this is a tough passage. It takes a lot of time. But I will be able to get 5 questions. Let me try. Or 7 marks. Let me try. And the moment you realize some question is difficult, skip that one immediately. That's what I call presence of mind. Presence of mind is very important. Now standing here, it looks so simple when you listen to me. And when you make a note also, if at all you are making a note, it's easy to write. But at the time of the exam, while taking the exam, it is not that easy to implement. I know a lot of brilliant students, they come out and say, sir, I messed up. And usually what happens, you mess up quant, impact of that falls on reasoning, impact of that falls on English, and it's a big mess. When you come out, you don't know what to do. 1 day or 2 days you feel bad, again you start your preparation. Very simple. So always remember, out of 39 questions, comfortably you can ignore. And you should be able to decide quickly which one is easy, which one is difficult. That discretion is very important. If you cannot decide, then you spend 4 minutes on one question or para-jumble. Finally, you don't get all the 5 correct. It doesn't make any sense. Before you attempt, you have to decide, can I or I cannot? Your gut feeling, I can get it right, go ahead. Somewhere you have the element of doubt, ignore, move on to the next questions. Shall I move on to the next question? So what is the question number 6? This goes with biology background. What is the author trying to convey through the phrase albatross around the neck? Please underline the word albatross. Now, what is the context here? Go to the first paragraph. He talks about barriers. Underline the word barriers. The first paragraph talks about barriers, hurdles, when it comes to efficient use of energy. The last sentence of the paragraph talks about these barriers. That is a key idea in that first paragraph. These barriers, positive word or negative word? First you make a note, negative word. Are albatross around the neck. That represent a classic market failure, again negative, and a basis for government intervention. Now let me ask the question, how many of you know the meaning of the word albatross? What is albatross? Don't tell. You know the meaning, raise your hand. You know. Anyone else? Okay. And now you tell me what is it? It is a bird. Please make a note. It is a marine bird. It lives along the coast. And it is a bird with the biggest wingspan. When it spreads its wings, a few feet this side and a few feet that side, perhaps 6 and 6, 12 feet I guess. Pretty big. A very majestic bird. But what is this? It's an idiomatic expression. But from the context, what do you understand? We'll try to take contextual awareness we'll use. As light as a bird. Does it have any negative connotation? So mark it wrong. Prevent from achieving success. This has a negative connotation, hold that one. Are worthless. Barriers are worthless. Does it make any sense? Mark it wrong. Act as controllers. It's a neutral statement, not negative. Mark it wrong. Always provide adequate guidance. It is completely positive, cannot be considered. Now what is the answer? Prevent from achieving success. Whether you know the meaning of the word albatross or not, based on the context, you should be able to get this one right. Should not be a problem. This is an easy question. Now this passage is a tough passage. We'll see how many questions, how many marks you can get. Question number 7, very easy in fact. What is a given word here? Robust. And he wants the opposite. Opposite in meaning as a word, robust. Robust, it goes with everyday English. What is the meaning of the word robust? Strong. Please write. Strong. Also write the word rugged. Rugged also means very strong. And what is the context? It has been used in which context? I think the last paragraph, you see the word robust. There is still an absence of robust ex post evidence. He wants the opposite. What is the first option here? Manual. Manual goes with what? Using your hands. What is the word for that? Manual. Write a few combinations. Write the word manual work. Manual work. Something you do using your hands. Then you write the word manual. Please write the word manual. Answer my question, which part of speech is it? It is an adjective as well as a noun. Manual work. What sort of work? Manual work. Here what is it? Adjective. But write one sentence. Please go through the manual. Please go through the manual. Go through the manual. In this sentence, which part of speech is it? Right. So manual means what? A small booklet which has rules and regulations. A booklet. Does it go with this word? No. Loose. Loose, what is opposite? Tight. Not relevant here. Vogue. That's a very good word. Put a star mark. Vogue means what? In fashion. Something that is fashionable. In vogue. It takes the preposition in. In vogue means in fashion. Some current fashion. Something is current fashion. We say in vogue. Vogue goes with fashion industry. And write one expression. Please write the word FAD, fad. Fad also goes with the fashion industry, but it has a different connotation altogether. Fad means short-lived fashion. Please write the meaning. Short-lived fashion. Sometimes you see guys with long hair. That is a fad. Sometimes you see guys with earrings. That is a fad. Sometimes you see girls with short hair. Not in the south, in the north. That is also a fad. And sometimes you see some guys with hair projecting up. Please write one expression that is called punk style. What is it called? Punk style. P-U-N-K, punk style. In the Western countries, especially once in the US and in the UK, punk culture, punk style, very popular. So what is this punk style? The hair standing up and looking at the sky. Second, a lot of chains, all blades, metal stuff. Then earrings and the tongue pierced and you see a metal thing. I really wonder how they have food. And all sorts of crazy things. Kids would get scared. And all these punks, they were damn scary and intimidating. They would think they were the best in the world. That's a different thing altogether. Now, does it go with this context? Not at all. Flimsy. Now, let us assume you don't know the meaning. Don't consider that one. What is the last word? Flexible. But flexible, what is opposite? Rigid. Write the word rigid. You could write words like rigid. Oh. First you write the word rigid. Then you write the word adamant. Then you write the word stubborn. Usually adamant and stubborn, these two words go with kids. Kids are adamant, kids are stubborn. Sometimes our students also, they are stubborn. We tell them to occupy the front benches, they insist on occupying the back benches. Then what is the word we use? Stubborn. You got the meaning? Fine. Now, flexible opposite rigid, that is not the right one. You are left with which word? Whether you know the meaning or not, answer is flimsy. But please write, flimsy means delicate. First you write the word delicate. Then you write brittle. Delicate, not strong, brittle. Also write the word fragile. What is the word you are supposed to write? Fragile. Easy or difficult, this one? Very easy. Now question number 8. This is a bit difficult to make out. According to the author, to make programs for conserving energy more successful, only latest technology must be employed. Perhaps, we are not sure. But latest technology always gives the competitive edge and yields better results. Hold that one. The author's country must adhere to norms. Underline the word norms. Norms means what? Rules. Followed in countries where such programs have been successful. But does anywhere the passage talk about the writer's country? I don't think it is right. Change must be brought in the attitudes of people with respect to efficient usage of energy. Now this has been mentioned. C is right. The passage talks about change in attitude because the passage talks about two dimensions. The study or the report, one particular dimension focuses on political and economic factors. Another dimension focuses on the cultural beliefs and attitude and the traditions. Now C has been mentioned in the passage. Change must be brought in the attitudes of people with respect to efficient usage of energy. Now you have to decide whether A is right or wrong. We'll see the options. Only A not correct, only B not correct, only C, hold that one. Both A and B, that is not the right combination. Both B and C, that is also not the right combination. Either it has to be only C or it has to be A and C. But which option do you have here? Only C. Which option is that? That is the answer. Because that is not categorically mentioned in the passage. Now, same in meaning underpin. Underpin means what? Support. Please write the meanings. Support. Encourage. Also write the word promote. Write the word foster, F-O-S-T-E-R. Now, underpin is a positive word or a negative word? Positive. What is the first option here? Undermine. That is a negative word. Write the meanings. First one you write erode, E-R-O-D-E. Then you write the word threaten, threaten. Also write the word weaken, weaken something. Also write the expression wear away. Wear away means slowly become weak. Wear away, become weak. That's a negative word. What is the second option? Determine or determine. Hold that one. Criticize. Is it related to the given word? No. Abandon. That's an important word. Abandon means what? To leave. It goes with persons as well as things. You go to your native place, you have a problem with your bike breaks down and there's no mechanic. What do you do that time? You abandon your bike in your village, one combination, and you're in big trouble. Your family doesn't come to rescue, they don't give a helping hand. Then you say, my family has abandoned me. It goes with persons as well as things. So, does it go with this word? No. Dispose. Dispose means what? Get rid of something. To get rid of something. Dispose of. Get rid of something. When you write get rid of, what is the spelling of? Single or double? Single. Please write. Now what is the answer based on this? The second option is the answer. That's a positive word. Now he wants, to some extent, question number 9 is difficult, but you have been listening, you have got these words so many times, should not be a problem. Question number 10 is rather easy. At any cost you have to get. What is a given word? Unexploited. He wants similar meaning. First, exploited, it is positive or negative? Generally it is negative, sometimes it is positive. How is it negative? When someone tries to exploit a situation or a person is not strong or not capable, then it is a negative thing. When you refer to, the word goes with resources. Goes with what? Resources. Then it has a positive connotation. We should exploit the natural resources available in our country. Here it is positive. Many landlords try to exploit the agricultural labor. Here it is negative. Now in the context, is it positive or negative? Where is the word? Which paragraph is it in? The first paragraph will remain unexploited by 2035. What will remain? Potential to improve energy efficiency will remain unexploited. So it goes with a positive connotation. What is the first one? Untapped. If you don't know the meaning of this word, you may wonder, why does tap come into picture? Where does it come into picture? But here tap means what? Let me ask the question, tap. Which part of speech is it? All of you please write the word tap. One is, you all know the regular tap. What is the second one? Tap, please write, tap someone. That goes with everyday English. But again you write tap, write verb, bracket you write resources. Tap the resources. Write a few combinations. First you write tap the resources, then you write tap the potential, tap the potential. Here tap means what? Please write the word, simple word, extract, better word, harness. Harness means what? Bring out. Harness. Extract is an easy word, harness is a better word. Exploited, opposite, unexploited. Tapped, untapped. Do you think that is the answer? Hold that one. Unanswered. Is it related to exploitation? Mark it wrong. Explode, not related. Developed, not related. Vacant, not at all related. So what is the answer? Unexploited, untapped. but write the combination it goes with resources. That is an easy one, should not be a problem. Now, which of the following is true in the context of the passage? Employing retrofit programs is relatively a new concept and is yet to become popular. Has it been mentioned anywhere in the passage? I don't think so. Are you guys listening? I will repeat the question. Has it been mentioned anywhere in the passage? Okay, hold that one. The government so far has been least supportive. This is not right. In the passage, it talks about the support given by the government. Mark this wrong. The question is, what is the question here? True, but this is not true. Those who have read the passage, it talks about the support from the government. Lack of trust on landlords has been cited as one of the major barriers to employing energy efficiency. Underline the word major barriers. It is not a major barrier. So it is also, don't consider that one. What is the next one? Retrofit schemes are dependent on incentives to bring about attitudinal change towards energy efficiency schemes. This has been mentioned clearly. Please go to page 2. The first paragraph on page 2. Middle of the paragraph, there is a sentence. Frequently, these discussions have criticized the extent to which retrofit schemes rely on incentives and the provision of new technologies to change. Same point. So what is the answer based on that? Fourth option. But the key says the fifth option, all are right. Key says fourth option or fifth option? Fifth option, which is not right. Answer is the fourth option. That is a bit difficult. As mentioned in the passage, and according to the experts, in order to exploit existing potential to better energy efficiency measures, what is required? Availability of sufficient funding is a must. Seems right, hold that one, generally speaking. Because any scheme, funds are required or not required? Required. Availability of reliable information from dependable source must be ensured. This is also a prerequisite, hold that one. Adequate and trustworthy suppliers of energy must be made available. First paragraph, he talks about lack of reliable suppliers. So this is also right, hold this one. Governmental support by implementing adequate policies is essential. This is also right. So what is the answer based on that? The fifth option, all the given options are right. But these questions, do remember in the exam, you should avoid questions where you have to go through the passage 2 or 3 times and decide whether a particular option is right or wrong. I don't advise. You may not get so much time, and you got to be damn sure. If you deal with explicit information, you can decide and you can go for a particular option. Imagine of the 5 options, 2 options are related to implicit information. Then don't attempt. You have to read a lot and make sure that that is the right option. Not advisable. Now, what is question number 13? Rather easy. The title for the given passage could be how to measure the impact of retrofit programs of energy conservation. It is not about retrofit programs. That is one of the dimensions. Barriers to effective usage of energy. Passage is all about what? Effective usage of energy and the barriers related to that. Second option seems right, hold that one. Views of stalwarts, that's a very good word. Stalwarts means important people, experienced people, also seniors. Write 3 words, important people, experienced people, seniors. The right one combination, generally it goes with the film industry. The stalwarts of Telugu film industry. The stalwarts of Telugu film industry. Views of stalwarts on disadvantages of retrofit programs, not correct. Existing practices of conserving energy. Please underline the word practices. Here, which part of speech is it? Practices. It's a noun. Please underline the last 3 letters. Imagine they have to use the word as a verb. What will be the spelling? Please make a note. TISC is a verb form. TICE is the noun form. In various bank exams, they've given more than 10 times questions related to this word and one more word. Please make a note of that also. SE is the verb form, CE is the noun form. Now what is the answer here? The first paragraph talks about the barriers to effective usage of energy. The second option is the answer. How many of you have got this one right? Second option. Okay. Question number 14. The author in the given passage is of the view that no amount of efforts can bring about changes in employing energy efficiency schemes in his country. Has it been mentioned anywhere? I don't think the writer is cynical. This is a completely negative categorical statement. Don't consider that one. Positive that more evidence on retrofit schemes is essential to make people more aware and sensitive towards them. The last paragraph talks about this. This is right. Hold this one. Cynical about the present state of energy efficiency measures taken in his country. Does the writer sound cynical anywhere? Cynical means what? Negative, completely negative. He has been analytical, not cynical. Now what is the answer here? B is the answer. Only B is the answer. Which option talks about that? Have you read the passage, this boy? Have you read the passage? No. I can make out because you are checking the clock. So you are waiting for the time to complete. I could make out. Now what is the question number? 15. This is also an important word. Generally, which part of speech is it? It is an adjective and it takes the word, please write the combination, concerted efforts. It takes the word efforts. In the context, how has it been used? Concerted push or efforts. First paragraph. Now what do you understand? What is the meaning of this? Please write together. Concerted effort means together as one unit. You join hands with others and together you try to do something. Now what is the first option here? Collaborative. Same meaning. Hold that one. Piled, piling up. One of the meanings, pile up, it goes with, write the combination word. The files are piling up. Means you are not able to do the work efficiently, so many files. Subtracting, I don't have to tell the meaning, right? Necessary, weak. So what is the answer? The first option is the answer. You want the opposite? Oh, then what is the answer? Together, generally what happens, there is a saying in English, what is it? United, we are weak or strong? Strong. There is a saying, India's strength is what? Unity in diversity. Unity always brings in strength. So when you put in concerted efforts, they are strong or weak? Strong. So what is the opposite word? So what is the answer here? Fifth option is the answer. Easy or difficult? So who has got, those who have attempted this passage, has anyone got 5 or 5 plus? Please raise your hands. That's very good. I appreciate those students. Now your favorite section. Which one is that? Spot the errors. We all love grammar. Grammar related. I have been analyzing when we upload the videos, the heading says passage or close or something else. We don't get a lot of views. But errors, 1,000 plus within no time. I really wonder why they're so crazy about spot the errors, grammar related questions. One of the reasons, they have been trained that way and they feel very comfortable. That is a comfort zone. And generally we don't want to come out of the comfort zone. Am I right? The day you come out of your comfort zone, you are very close to success. Very simple. I hope you understand what I say. Shall I move on to the next one? Fine. Question number 16, only one error. Spot the error, only one. Natural disasters will not turn into a catastrophe. You got this word this morning. Means what? A calamity, a disaster, any of these words. If we invest in building infrastructure that can withstand the devastating impacts of storms, which have became or become. Now you have to reach a stage where when you read which have became, you should not go beyond that. You should know for sure became is not correct, it should be become. Which have become, they have become. Which tense is it? Present perfect tense. So any perfect tense, the verb should be in which form? Past participle form. Easy question, one reading, no need of second reading. Many goods are being manufactured quickly without any regard for quality, and as consumers we must be aware of our rights, and the government should penalize. Underline the word penalize. Penalize means what? Punish. Please write punish. Penalize them who indulge. Underline the word indulge. Indulge means what? Get into, involve. Write the word involve. Unscrupulous business practices means negative, bad business practices. Who indulge in, the word indulge always goes with a negative thing. I have told many a time. Don't indulge in bad habits. Don't indulge in nefarious activities. Don't indulge in alcohol. All negative. So unscrupulous business practices. Now where is the error? This is, you got to be very careful. If you don't read meticulously, you cannot spot the error. Tell me which part has an error. I will repeat second time. Which part has an error? Who says the fourth part? Someone has said fourth part. And what is the error? Fourth part, you are right. You said fourth part. So where is the error? Penalize them is not correct. Penalize those. Please write. Them who indulge, that is grammatically not correct. Those who indulge. Penalize those. Who are those people? Who indulge in unscrupulous business practices. How many of you have got this one right? This is a bit difficult. Under pressure, not easy to make out. But do remember, one word is enough to fetch 1 mark. What is the word here? It is not them, it is those. Now please be attentive. I will ask questions, you respond. First I will read out the sentence. The European Central Bank has said that if all Eurozone nations continue to carry out economic reforms as Portugal and Ireland have, then the central bank will guarantee future bailouts. At the outset, my first question, this is related to which topic or which aspect of English grammar? Reported speech. How can you say that? Please underline the word said. Whenever you come across words like said, told, asked, questioned, requested, ordered, warned, you have to think of reported speech. Now, is it in, which tense is it in? Has said. Please be attentive, this is not an easy question. Present perfect, make a note. Please write present perfect. And is it a question or is it a statement? Statement, write statement. Statement, I gave 3 rules. What is the first rule? If the reporting verb is in present tense, present perfect or future tense, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. What is the second rule? If the reporting verb is in past tense, the tenses change to a corresponding past tense. What is the third rule? Other changes. But here, the reporting verb is in present perfect. And what are the verbs here? To carry out, you cannot touch that one. Continue to carry out. Economic reforms as Portugal and Ireland have, then the central bank will guarantee. Now you must have thought will is not correct, it should be would. How many of you have chosen the fourth part? There is an error. Key also says the same thing. Am I right? What is the question number? 18. The key also says the fourth part. No, it is not the fourth part. What is the reason? When the reporting verb is in present perfect, will doesn't change to would. Then the central bank will guarantee future bailouts. Perfect. Then where is the error? Will you say Eurozone nation or nations? That is the error. Please add the letter S. There is an error in the second part. What is that error? Nations. Question number 19. He identified the most important machines required for modern life and worked in making a prototype please underline the word prototype. The first model, from that other models are created. Do-it-yourself version of each, because he believed that if people could build these themselves, it would improve their way of life. This is a very difficult question. Please put a star mark. Where is the error? I will give you the option. Does anyone say second part is an error? Second part, what is the error? You must have thought for modern life and worked on making. Do you think in is not correct? In is correct. In making, that is right. There is no problem there. Who says there is an error in the third part? Raise your hands. What is the error? I said this is a tough question. What is the reason? All of you please underline making. Making a prototype, then you please put in brackets these words. Now you read make a prototype or making a prototype. Will you say make a prototype for each or of each? For each. So where is the error here? Third part, of is not correct. Change it to make of. Is it right grammatically speaking? Are you guys listening? Will you say make of or make for? That is the answer, very simple. Making for each, that is the right expression. But that is very difficult to make out under pressure. Shall I move on to the next one? While farmers are struggling to cope with severe drought, crop companies are researched ways to breed crops that thrive in drought. Thrive means do well. That's a very good word, thrive. Do well, grow well, be successful. In this context, to survive, to grow well. So where is the error? Third part, what is the error? Crop companies are researching ways to breed, are researching. Not researched, researching. Sometimes I feel very happy when I see some of our students. Before starting the session, I have come across 2 students. They've got selected DCCB, right? Telangana. One girl, who is other student somewhere here? UCO Bank, or please both of you stand up, give them a big hand. Very good. Please sit down. What makes me happy? They got the job. Typical nature, human nature, this afternoon, by scorching heat and stuffy room, they could have stayed back, they could have enjoyed, they could have celebrated. But they've come all the way to enrich the knowledge. That is highly appreciable. Do you understand what I say? When did you get the result? Last evening, yesterday, and today they are here. That is amazing. That is highly appreciable and adorable, right or wrong? That I really appreciate both of you. That is the right spirit. Now shall I move on? Question number 21. 2 questions, I think we have a new section. 21 to 25, what do they deal with? Double trouble. Double fillers, I'm sorry. Now we'll see. All these are actually contextual awareness, not based on grammar knowledge, but we'll see. It out in vehicles while remaining stuck in a traffic snarl. Underline the word snarl. Usually it goes with dogs and wolves. When a dog is very angry, it shows the teeth. The body language is very aggressive. It shows the teeth and it makes some growling or some peculiar noise. Then we can say the dog is snarling, very angry. You got to be away from the dog that time. But in this context, does it go with that meaning? Not at all. What do you understand in a traffic snarl? Means traffic jam. Please write traffic jam. Stuck in a traffic snarl for us has become a matter for commuters. Underline the word commuters. Write the word commute. Commute is a verb. Commute means what? Travel long distance, usually for work. Please write the meaning. Travel long distance every day. Travel long distance every day. Brackets you write, usually for work. Now let me ask a question. Which is the most intelligent animal on planet Earth after man? Not correct. I thought you would say. That's why I asked the question. The most intelligent animal is crow. Crow is the most intelligent animal after man. Scientific, not my personal opinion. Don't look at me like that. And crow, you must have read the story as a boy or as a girl, dropping the pebbles for water, and we consider if someone passes away, we offer the food to crows, and what do we say? Our forefathers or ancestors. But scientifically, last year also there was a write-up, I brought the write-up to this institute from Popular Science magazine. Crows are very intelligent, and in this context I would like to say, because the word commute, in Japan one scientist did research on crows. He found out, now cities are crowded, many cities are crowded, Japan also crowded, and crows they cannot build the nests. So many crows in Japan, a particular area, what they do, they live in the village, nearby village or town, and every morning they come to the city for food. So they commute every day. Crows also commute. Generally commute goes with, the article is all about crows commuting in Japan. Usually it goes with persons, but sometimes it goes with animals. So commute, travel long distance, usually for work, and commuter is a person. Generally what happens, if you take the word commute, there are two ways of learning. One is, what is the meaning? You stop there. That is like limited knowledge. Now, why should you commute? First question. You go a little above that. Why should you commute? Why do people commute? In developed countries, in developing countries. The cities are crowded. You take a city, initially it is not crowded, over a period of time it gets crowded. Then you have this housing problem. If you go to Bombay, can you get a house in Bombay? It's impossible. Even celebrities cannot get a house in Bombay, it's so difficult. Then what happens, in and around this major city, a few small towns, they start developing. And those who cannot get accommodation in the city, they live in these small towns, and every day they commute to the city. And these towns are known as satellite towns. There is another word. What is the word? We call them suburbs. Satellite towns or suburbs. Generally, people commute from satellite towns to the heart of the city. The heart of the city, what is the other word for that? Please write, downtown. Downtown is a regular word used by Westerners, but many Indians don't know this word. Downtown, I'm going to the downtown, they use quite often. Downtown means the busiest marketplace in a city. So suburbs, satellite towns, and the boundaries of the city, what is the word for that? Outskirts. And related words, infrastructure, housing problem, all these, if you always try to recollect the related words and the related concepts, that will help you in the long run. Generally, people don't do that. We get the answer, we are very happy, we stop there, and it is over. But if you are really smart and intelligent, every mock test paper, every question, there is so much to learn. It all depends on how you look at the sentence, how you look at each word. Now we'll see what is the first pair here. Sweating it out means in vehicles you sweat a lot because you have to wait for a long time. While remaining stuck in a traffic snarl for hours has become a routine matter. Routine matter, hold that one. Second word, just doubt, hold that one. But sweating it out, perfect. No problem with the combination. Waiting it out, we don't say waiting it out. Please strike off the first word in the second pair. Thinking it out, this is also not correct. Harrowing is, I don't remember the exact meaning of this word. But fretting, already I've got the word fret. Fret means what? To worry, to make a big scene, to worry about something, to become anxious about something, not something important, silly things, trivial things. Don't fret about something, everyday English word. And what is the second word here? Fretting it out. But generally we don't use the word fretting it out. In this context, the apt word is sweating. Sweating it out in vehicles while remaining stuck in a traffic snarl for us has become a routine matter. But the second word I am not convinced. Let me see any other option. Fretting it out has become a practice matter. This is also not right. Waiting it out. We don't use the word waiting it. It's ruled out. Ruled out. So habitual matter. Habitual matter also I don't think the right expression. So you're left with only one option. Which one is that? The first option is the answer. A routine matter, grammatically there is no problem. But usage point of view, I am not convinced. Now we'll say the second one. Owners of private hostels located in residential areas are not only, please underline not only, taxes, but are also functioning whimsically. Underline the word whimsically. You have got this word many a time. And I gave one idiomatic expression. What is that? Whims and fancies. Whims means what? Whimsical. Not based on reason, based on emotion, and based on spontaneous reaction. You do something whimsically. Means what? You do something without thinking. No reason, no rationale, and cannot be justified. Cannot be justified. So is it positive or negative? One word is enough to make out the context. The context is negative of any regulatory body. Now we'll see the first one. Avoiding, not only avoiding taxes but are also functioning whimsically in the front. Can you use the word front? No, mark it wrong. Not only paying taxes is positive, but here the context is negative, mark it wrong. Checking, not only checking, check the taxes, not correct. Not only evading, evade, you got the word this morning, means what? Avoid, hold that one. Not only avoiding, but are also functioning whimsically in the absence of any regulatory body. Perfect word. In the absence of what? Any regulatory body. Now destroying, not correct. Can you destroy taxes? No. So what is the answer here? Fourth option is the answer. But I would like to know how many of you have got this one right. Please raise your hands. That's highly appreciable. A lot of students. Now question number 23. Contractors across the state have to stop work, underline to stop work, positive or negative, on the scheme after the minister failed, underline the word failed, that is also negative, to give them concrete of timely payment. Contractors across the state have thought to stop. Does it sound right? Decided, have decided to stop work, seems right. What is the reason? Have is a helping verb. Here the verb is in past participle form, present perfect. And what is the second word? Why? After the minister failed to give them concrete assurance. Usually the word concrete, please write another combination. One is concrete assurance. Second combination, concrete evidence. That's right. Concrete evidence. This seems right, hold this one. What is the third pair? Have a wish to stop. Concrete demand, that is not correct. Have started to stop. Does it make any sense? No. What is the fifth option? Have determined and concrete promise. Failed to give them concrete promise. Now you have to decide between the fifth option and what is the other one? Second option. Have determined or have decided? Which one sounds better? Decided. They have decided to do something. So what is the answer based on that? Second option is the answer. All these one reading you should be able to get. No need of second reading. Makes the actress trip to the country different this year is that she is to raise funds for the biopic of a literary icon. Underline the word biopic, you all know the meaning. Literary, related to literature, the field of literature. Icon means what? A symbol of a role model. Write the word role model. Also write the word idol. 2 words, role model, idol. So what is the first one? It makes the actress trip to the country different this year is that, does it sound right? No. Which makes also not right. This makes, perhaps it is right. There's nothing wrong with the expression this makes. This makes the actress trip to the country different this year is that. Oh, is that, then you cannot use this. What is the next option? What makes the actress trip to the country different this year is that. All this is a subject used in the place of the subject. Before the verb, whatever you see, used in the place of a subject. It's a clause. Is that she is, what is the second word here? She is looking to raise funds for the biopic of a literary icon. Seems right? Hold that one. How makes, that is not at all right. So what is the answer here? 4th option is the answer. Question number 25. Every 3rd person visiting a doctor happens to, from a clinical or psychological disorder with tremblers. Perhaps that's one kind of disease. First I thought tremble. Tremble means what? Shiver, shake. And what is the first one? Happens to ail from. Ail means what? To suffer, right? Suffer. S-U-F-F-E-R. Regarding with is not correct. Mark it wrong. Happens to sick from. Happens to be sick is right. Happens to sick is not right. When I say this, do you write happens to be sick or you just listen and leave it like that? Listen and leave it like that. You write. I appreciate. I appreciate those students who have written happens to be sick. What is the next one? Happens, every 3rd person visiting a doctor happens to suffer. Suffer always takes a preposition. What is the preposition? Underline the word from. Suffer from a clinical or psychological disorder. What is the second word? Associated with. This is also right. Hold the 3rd option. Agonize. Happens to agonize. No, not correct, but write the meaning of the word agonize. Generally, we use it as a noun. Please write agony. Agony means severe pain or acute pain. Severe pain or acute pain. Now, write 2 words. Agony could be physical or mental. So, please write mental agony. And second one, physical agony. Both combinations are used. That is not the right word. Respect with. In respect would have been better. Happens to experience from, that is also not right. So what is the answer here? Quite obvious. The second option, the 3rd option. I know you're ready to catch. This girl is very sharp. Now we'll move on. How are these, easy or difficult? Easy. Now, close test. This is an interesting passage or paragraph, a short paragraph. It's all about World Trade Center. It is not one, please correct it. Once, O-N-C-E. Once World Trade Center is viewed as a statement of hope, a marvel of persistence, and a miracle of logistics. As years passed after the tragedy at the site at which it was since constructed and the delays kept mounting. Mounting, underline the word, it means again piling up, mounting, to get accumulated, right? Mounting, to get accumulated. But generally it goes with pressure. Please write one expression. The pressure is mounting. The pressure is mounting. When your result gets delayed, you are under tremendous pressure. What do you say? The pressure is mounting. Now, what are the words? So, and the delays kept mounting. Americans began to Generally, they don't experience delays. They are known for being very prompt. They are good at work ethics. Whatever they take up, they do promptly. Now, Americans began to understand what is taking so long. Americans began to anger. What is the third option here? They expected something to happen. It did not happen. Generally, you expect something. You write the exam and you were damn sure, you wrote the exam, you were damn sure that you would get selected, but unfortunately, your name or number not there. Then what will you do? You begin to wonder, what could be the reason? Am I responsible? Is the master responsible? Or is the institute responsible? All these introspection and all sorts of questions. I began to wonder, what could be the reason? So what is the exact word here? The third option, Americans began to wonder, what is taking so long? Why has it got delayed? They began to wonder. Sense and questions not right. Now let me ask the question, if you don't know the context, I gave the explanation based on the context. When you don't understand, you begin to wonder. You don't know the context, you don't understand the context, you try to answer the blank or the question based on your grammar knowledge. Is it possible to get it right all the time? Please remember, all of you, from day one I have been telling the students of this institute, your grammar approach will not work always. It does work sometimes. I am not saying grammar is of no use. It doesn't mean that. Grammar is a foundation. You need to be good at English grammar. Your grammar knowledge will definitely fetch minimum 5 marks in the exam, whatever the level of difficulty. But today the papers are at a higher level. What is required here? How fast you read, how fast you comprehend unfamiliar context, and to what extent you are exposed to all these contexts, and to what extent you are exposed to the various combinations or the language expressions. We call it, in a nutshell, proficiency. Now this, any person is good at English, one reading, he sees all the 5 words, he knows the context, he knows for sure the answer is the third option. It got delayed, they began to wonder. There ends the matter, no ambiguity whatsoever. But if you don't reach that stage, every time it becomes a problem. Every time you have to cross-check, cross-check, cross-check. And sometimes you're not damn sure. Do you understand what I say? So my suggestion, some of you are seniors, some of you are beginners. My suggestion to beginners, from day one, try to raise your standards from contextual awareness point of view. Do you understand what I say? But you always focus on grammar, shortcuts, or some combinations. That will not work out. What is the guarantee you get the same context, same passage, same words? Is any guarantee? Tomorrow some other topic, day after tomorrow some other topic. How can you guess? You cannot guess in your wildest dreams also. But when you read a lot, you expose yourself to a variety of contexts and different writing styles. All these become, you come out and say easy questions, and you will say it was a cakewalk. Very simple. Shall I move on to the next one? So what is it? Have we lost the capacity to rebuild? So introspection. Americans asked themselves. The answer in part was the sheer complexity, delight, knowing, drop, obsession of the project. What is this project? Reconstructing World Trade Center. Am I right? Is it a small thing or a big thing? Huge, enormous, gigantic, and mammoth project, obviously. Then what is the word you use? Complexity. So what is the option here? First option, the sheer complexity of the project. Delight goes with pleasure. Here pleasure doesn't come into picture. Sheer knowing, not the right combination. Sheer drop, not at all relevant. Sheer obsession, possibility, sheer obsession of the project. But here it talks about, the complete sentence talks about what? 10,000 workers attempting one of the most difficult construction projects ever in one of the most densely populated cities on earth. That's a complex task. It talks about complexity. So, sheer complexity. What is the next one? You have to start with a word. The funds allotted for the project were estimated as $1.5 billion when the design was unveiled, means made public. But the price tag just kept going up. Generally, this happens with the projects. When they announce the project, they say 100 crores. Over a period of time, things get delayed, and finally they get to the ground level, they start the actual work. The project cost shoots up to 200 or 300. It's a common thing, not only in the East, but also in the West. Now here it talks about what? Addition. What is the word for addition? One is complexity, it got delayed. Sheer complexity, it got delayed. Second is addition. What is the word you use for addition? Moreover. Despite, instead, exclusive when, not relevant in this context. Other. He talks about the various problems. What is the other word for problems? Challenges, right? Other advantages, but the context talks about something negative, complexity, not positive. Information, not correct. Attempts, not at all relevant. Crisis, no. What is the plural of crisis? Crisis, SES. Here it should be in the plural form. And what is the right word? Other challenges. What are the other challenges that delayed the project? Other challenges included the weather in the harsh sun of summer. The steel beams could reach temperatures that were hot enough to singe skin. Singe means burn skin. Added to which a hurricane. Hurricane, underline the word hurricane. You got this word sometime back. It is a storm, tropical storm experienced in Central America. It comes from the Atlantic Ocean. If you take North American continent, South American continent, between what do you have? Central America. On the right you have Atlantic Ocean. On the left you have Pacific Ocean. From Atlantic Ocean, strong winds blow. And that finally, sometimes it results in a tropical storm, what is known as hurricane, which is very dangerous. So hurricane, what is the word to be? Added to which, one more factor, a hurricane formed the construction site, not correct. Affected the construction site, perhaps, hold that one. Predicted, not at all relevant. Hazard, no. Flooded. Hurricane brings with it a lot of water and also strong winds. So what is the answer here? Flooded the construction site. That is a challenge again. If the construction site gets flooded, it's a challenge. The monument may not be all, oh, is that the last one? I would like to ask a question. Who has got all the 5 correct this close? Please give them a big hand. Shrikant.